Throughout my childhood, I had always been a collector of sports figurines and other various collectibles. As a kid, I started out with an interest in Star Wars and attempted to get my hands on any action figure out there. As time progressed, I adapted and developed into a person with new interests. I became a huge sports fan, and I still am today. I collected cards, jerseys, figurines, and more. Now, in my adolescent years, I found a different passion through collecting clothes and memorabilia for my favorite musical artist, Travis Scott. It's kind of crazy to see the transformation throughout the years, but with it came a lot of consequences. I began collecting souvenirs for as long as I can remember. Star Wars action figures jumped to sports figurines and somehow ended up into a collection of clothing pieces. Figurines were a cheap, affordable way to collect as a child. They were easy to get your hands on, and there wasn't much disappointment if they were to break. Clothing items, on the other hand, they can range from affordable prices to a whole paycheck and then some. I've had to cherish and preserve my collected pieces because it isn't as easy to keep in great condition. In my collection now, I've collected 5 different t-shirts. I'm going to show you my t-shirts. The first one is the very first t-shirt I collected. This t-shirt is the t-shirt I got at my first Travis Scott concert, which was last February. I got this for $50. The next shirt I got was actually like a replica of the shirt Travis was wearing during that Kansas City show that I went to in February of last year. So I got this for $80. The next shirt is the very first shirt that he dropped for Astroworld, his third album. This shirt was $65. The next shirt that I got was for my 18th birthday. I went out and bought it. I got it for $80. I know that's a lot for a t-shirt. Trust me, I know. But I got this shirt because it's nothing really too special. No special meaning to me. I just really like the back graphic of the skeleton hand and the goldfish. And it's kind of like one of the first shirts I wanted when it came out. So I got this, and I had been looking for it everywhere, and I finally got it. But there's no too special meaning like the other shirts. And then this next shirt is from when I went to Houston, Texas this past fall, which is in November. I went with a friend, just me and him, 2 17-year-olds, 18, 17-year-old, in Houston, Texas alone. We went to the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival. And I bought this hoodie. I didn't buy this hoodie at the festival. I bought it later on after because the lines for the merchandise were at least 3 hours long to wait, and so I didn't really feel like waiting in line, standing out, missing other artists perform. I can't get it over. But yeah, it says Astroworld on the back, and then on the front it's a staff across the chest and the sleeve, and it's like a puff print, so the letters stand out. I got this for $120. It's my most expensive clothing piece that I got, but I just wanted to get it because the experience and the memories made there were very, very surreal. So I just wanted to get a piece that reminded me of it, and I didn't have a sweatshirt, so it was something different. And along with those clothing pieces, I have a pair of Travis Scott Jordan 4s. These were originally $250. Now they go for $750. They are very expensive. And the reason is because his name and within the music and fashion industry has very much increased because of his latest clothing pieces that he's dropped and shoes that he's released with his collaboration through Nike. So those shoes are very expensive. Probably more on the cheaper side too, which is very crazy to think about. But moving on from clothing pieces, I have all 3 studio albums. I have the first one, which is Rodeo. That is his first studio album. I have his second, which is my favorite, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. And then his third and his latest album, which is called Astroworld. And then I also have 2 singles. One of them's not here yet because it just came out and it won't be here for another 2 months because of shipping. But this one I got back in, I want to say December. This is called Highest in the Room. This is one of his singles that he dropped. And then the other one is called The Scots that just came out like 1 week ago. So all those CDs cost about $11, so $55 in total. And then I have 3 boxes of Travis Scott Reese's Puff cereals. These came out, well, the very first boxes that came out were sold in Europe and they were exclusive drop, and those boxes were $50. And the reason that they were $50 is because 1, it was a rare drop, and 2, the box looks different, like it's a metallic look to it, so it's like very reflective kind of. But yeah, I wasn't able to get my hands on them sadly, but I have 3 boxes of these. You can get them at Walmart, I'm pretty sure still, but just kind of like a cool little piece to add to the collection. Oh, and then also I have my wristband, my general admission wristband from the Astroworld Festival in Houston. Like I said, I just wanted to have a piece to remind me of all the surreal memories and experiences that I had in Houston, because it was very crazy. As you can imagine, just 2 teenagers alone in Houston, Texas for a couple of days is pretty surreal. But why did I buy this? Travis Scott, he's a rage-filled rapper from Houston, Texas that can tell a story and make you feel like you're a part of it. Over the past couple of years, I was a fan of Travis, but it was never this extreme. I started to learn about him, understand his ways, and finally I just became so in touch with him that I connected with his music and personality. The Houston-born artist has inspired and motivated kids all around the world with his unique music production and melodic stories. This past year, Travis dropped his 3rd studio album, Astroworld, and sparked a buzz all around the world. He set up one of, if not the greatest, tours of all time, of any genre. He sold millions of dollars of merch, along with tickets. Selling out over 50 shows this year, Scott continues to push the album in his newly refreshed merch. Travis Scott's merchandise is very limited and highly expensive to purchase, as it is of high quality. The resale market causes his products to rise in price, causing millions of people to empty their pockets on the rapper's memorabilia, including myself. The meaning of resale value is when you buy something for the market price, and then once it gains value, the price increases depending on the demand for the item. I choose to buy his merch because it gives me a way to show that I support him physically rather than just listening to his music. His voice and passion has really shaped my view on what the world is today. He has a high-paced, rage mentality that makes you want to just ignore what everyone else is saying and just do whatever you want to do. His music opened up a way to express myself to others and show who the real me is. Not only do I buy the memorabilia to support him, but his clothing and accessories are very incredibly unique. Whenever I wear his shirts or his shoes, I always get a look or a compliment because they just stand out. He has branded his stuff so well that almost anyone can tell where the product is from. With the great looks came consequences, unfortunately. The shirts doubled and even tripled in price of a normal shirt, and I bought 5 this past summer. My parents weren't very happy with my decisions, and they threatened to take away my debit card if I bought another shirt for that much. So what did I do? I bought a pair of his shoes. A pair of Travis Scott Jordan 4s, like I said, start at $250 as they released for the general public, and later on they expanded and increased to $750 now. This is my last big purchase, and my parents proceeded with their punishment. They transferred all my money out of my account, therefore I have no money left to spend. I worked hard to try and regain their trust and show them that I am responsible with money, but they didn't budge for a while. I know I went overboard with spending my money this past summer, but in my defense, it was spent on items I love and cherish. I know many adults look down upon this type of spending. My parents are from a different generation, obviously, and they see things a bit different compared to myself and the generation I'm a part of. They grew up with little money and had to be responsible with it, as it was harder to get back in their time. Even though my dad had been a collector of sports figurines and still keeps an eye out for them, he has pretty much grown out of his collecting days and focused on the real importance of life. My mom never really got into the whole collecting thing, so she doesn't really understand the passion I have towards my collection. My parents have other plans for me, saving up for college, getting a well-paying job, and just figuring out what I want to do in life. They want me to show them that I'm a responsible, hard-working adult. But in reality, I just want to feel like a little kid again. I think we all do. Collecting memorabilia or souvenirs makes me feel like a carefree child once again. As time and life progresses, we adapt to new changes and interests. New ideas can attract us closer, but we reach a certain limit and then we tend to move on to the next. For me, it feels like I just began my new collection. Although it takes a lot of money and effort, I plan to keep collecting as long as it makes me happy. There is a fine line between collecting for fun and collecting for obsession. Seeing it from both my parents and my point of view, they visualize me being obsessive over my collection, whereas I am just passionate about the items I love. It's hard for parents to let their children do what they want in life, as they have other plans of what they want their kids to pursue. These past couple years have been a real struggle between us because I've been trying to figure out the person I am, while they are trying to make me the person they want me to become. I know my parents are struggling to face the fact that I'm growing up and have found new interests and hobbies. What once used to be a childhood collection of action figures and sports memorabilia turned into an item of designer souvenirs. My childhood collection represents easier times where life was moving slowly and freely. Now, the representation of my collection portrays life as a fast-paced and expensive lifestyle. Life now is picking up, and almost every decision impacts what your future is going to turn out like. Your collection expresses the person you really are and what your life is about.